Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2Mnet podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling.
TheChairShot.com. Always use your head.
Konnichiwa!
Minasan konnichiwa!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talk to Keki podcast. I am Matt, your host for the night, your senpai, and to join me is my co-high, my pompous piece of shit co-host, Ethan. What's up?
Piece of shit. What the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? What the fuck?
No, hold on. I have a story for that, actually.
I'm over here telling you, when we say konnichiwa, I'm doing it just like they do it on Uramichi-san too, with the whole hand movement and the eyes. I'm gonna tell you do that too, like konnichiwa, and then you pompous fucking cocksucker. Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from?
It was funny because my partner actually told me they were probably listening to our podcast. And it talks about how pompous you kind of sound at times.
That's right.
I couldn't help but laugh. Like, I gotta do this to cheer him up after last week.
But I'm not. I know, but I'm not pompous. That's the thing.
I know. Just I guess this is how you sound.
Yeah, no. Cause when you go and you're talking about something I don't know about or I'm not watching, I'm like, Like if you were in front of me, I would be like, I'd be shaking my head, like, yeah.
I just thought it was fucking hilarious. I had to say it.
Like, yeah, so what happened in Vanitas is, fuck yourself, yeah.
hey, I'm going to talk about Vanitas later. That was a great episode. I'll talk about that later, mind you.
Yes.
Anyway.
What a great start, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, much better than last week.
Golly.
We're recording a little later because my job sucks. But we're here now. Energized, focused.
Yeah, we hope you guys liked the abbreviated episode last week. Truth be told, I didn't think it was one of our better episodes, but for the sake of people that have asked for a shorter episode, we gave it to them. We'll try and keep it as condensed as we can this week, but no promises.
But until then, ain't ever fucking happening.
We'll see.
If we're weak in the knees, as they say. Sacre bleu.
As I twirl my mustache and say that.
My mustache was used to be long enough for me to twirl like that.
You've seen my curly mustache, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yes, indeed. Lovely.
Anyway.
Sticky tonight.
Anyway, now we only have one set of news today, and that's this Record of Ragnarok get announced for season 2. No date yet.
Hopefully soon. Probably 2022, honestly.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for the next batch of fights for.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they've another set of news. I forgot. They officially announced JoJo Part 9. Now that I was thinking about that.
Yes, it's no longer JoJo Mama. That was rumored months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed in that.
Nah.
It should have kept it. That would have been a JoJo thing.
Yeah, it probably would have been. But yeah, they announced that. I did remember it just off the top of my head. And then, of course, My Hero is doing fantastically well in Japanese movie theaters. Belle is also doing really well. It's now, I believe, the director's second highest grossing film ever, as well as the live action of Tokyo Revengers. That's also doing really well.
I am very surprised with that, but I will take it.
Yeah, man. Like, the guy who plays Ken looks fucking just like that motherfucker, too.
Right? Oh my god.
It is crazy, dude. Like, they did a bang up job. They did a bang up job. What's the one that's on Netflix? I haven't seen it. Is it Kakegurui? Or there's a live action that's like, or is it Renshin something, right?
Kenshin? Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah. Everyone revels about how that's one of the better live actions that you can watch. So
I still need to watch that because my friend loves Rurouni Kenshin, and he said he loved it. So
I haven't seen the anime, so I can't compare it, but it is something that I would want.
The anime is great.
True.
This unfortunately the creator had issues we're not going to talk about here.
Oh.
I got hit with the cancel culture, and my friend was devastated because it was his favorite series. So I was like, what do I do? It's like, just enjoy the show.
Enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, next week we got My Villain Academia started with the villains.
Indeed, I can't wait. But we could talk about that in our My
Oh
Hero.
yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we should get to the continuation.
Yeah.
Speaking
Sorry,
of
did you have anything else to add to Record of Ragnarok season 2? I'm sorry because I cut you off.
Basically, I can see it happen next year, as I know the next fight's almost done, and they're probably gonna wait for one more fight to fully finish. That way, we can do like 4 more fights for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see how long it takes them. Hopefully, we get a little bit of better animation. But I'm excited for Heracles. I'm excited for Heracles and Jack the Ripper. That was my favorite fight. I love Jack the Ripper.
It's gonna be it's gonna be hard to top Adam though. Adam was that motherfucker, bro.
Adam
was that nigga, bro. You can't top him.
Adam was probably he was my favorite character, and then Jack the Ripper showed up.
That Adam.
I still love Adam. He's great.
Yeah, well, I'll see the Jack the Ripper. We'll see. But for right now, Adam's my bar.
There you go. But no, it's still a great fight. I can't wait to see how they do it. All right, but yeah, speaking of Academia, we're gonna start with the seasonal continuations, and we'll start with Academia. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's start with Academia. Great episode.
Yes, this was great.
Again, a lot of people were just saying like, "Oh, the beginning sucked. I could have dealt without it."
I feel like that's the normal for the past couple of seasons.
I don't mind it. I didn't mind it in the least. Like, I can agree with the stanchion that it kind of felt a little fillery. Like, okay, I get that.
I bet they also tried really too hard with Kirishima in the beginning of season 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Like stop. It's not gonna happen. Like he's just a side guy. That's it.
At least he's not Yamcha.
You mean Gohan?
I led you into that one.
I know you did. Maybe we'll talk about that at the end of the show. The whole Vegeta thing.
Oh God.
You know what? The title of the episode is the Vegeta Memorial Show.
Vegeta Memorial Show.
Or I want for the homies.
Well, I mean, bro, he didn't actually get his ass kicked. He just did a move and he fucked it up.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. Anyway, back to My Hero. Yeah, it was a great episode. Yeah. Like I said, people shit on rail on the fact that the early season start wasn't that great. I'll admit it wasn't the best, but I didn't mind it in the least. This season for me, as much as season 4 was so spectacular and dealt with emotions and high octane action, which we are going to start getting into this latter half of the season, this season is very heavy. Honestly, some of the heaviest stories since I would say season 1, maybe. Like in terms of like just storytelling, fantastic storytelling, layering. They're putting different layers on different characters, tying in different facets to different like strings of existence with the characters. It's really, really, really good. Like the storytelling is the key thing to take out of this season 5 of My Hero, and it's really some of the best storytelling that the show has done. It's not high on the high octane action. It's not like holy shit. It's not it's good, like good action, good like things. But the storytelling is where it's at. The layers, the depth, the intensity of the story is really what you guys I think should appreciate because again, fantastic storytelling.
All right, can we talk about Aizawa for a second?
Sure.
The whole like crying, it reminded me of Mustang. I was raining all right. I know it wasn't not as impactful, but the fact that we actually get to see that side of him.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
I thought that was well done.
Yeah, that was
AC his friendship with.
Yeah, it was very raw. Yeah, you see the present Mike. Present Mike isn't just the annoying character or the loud character. Yeah. He's got feelings too. Again, like you took 2 characters and they're taking a lot of characters and they're giving them more depth, and that's fantastic. The more characters you can get depth, the more you can invest in the characters. The more you invest in characters, the more the action that you see with those characters makes you feel, and that's always
exactly.
So yeah, that story was really well done. They did they got what they could out of him. They were interrogating their friend, and then he kind of shut off again. But just the principle of how horrendous they are to be fucking around with dead bodies and making them nomus and shit. Like that's crazy.
Right. No, it's crazy. So
yeah. And what do you think? By the way, Marte, shout out to Marte, even though he won't listen to this because he's a fucking cocksucker. Anyway. she posted in our group about the whole controversy involving the fact that the anime censored what really happened with the Shigaraki scene at the end. For those who don't know what we're talking about, at the end of the episode, they find out that at the hospital, and it was the hospital where they took their friend after he passed away, but there's an evil doctor there, and he's fucking around with people, like live, dead. He fucks around with them, tries to change them, like, and I believe he's doing it at the direction of All for One. But they show a scene where Shigaraki is being fucking like he's supposed to have been turned inside out, and you see him being like electrocuted, and he's in excruciating agony, just getting
Right.
fucking electrocuted. But if you look at the manga shows him all like bloody and fucking fucked up. Like you ever see when you see the muscular the muscular charts when you're at the
Right.
doctor's office, and that's what the fuck he's supposed to look like, all bloody and fucked up and shit, because he's being turned inside out. But because of the fact that it's directed more towards children, they censored it. So
I wish they didn't censor it, but at the same time, it's like I get it type of thing. Don't want to scare the kids.
yeah, I mean,
But
I like the when they do parental advisories, because you don't get that too often. I've only seen that maybe what 3 times, I think, in
yeah,
anime. I saw the very first one I saw was um fuck, which one was it? Oh, it was Sword Art Online, season 3 of Sword Art Online, Alicization, where they showed the rapes
right.
and they gave a parental advisory for that. And then the second one that I remember seeing was in Wandering Witch, where they showed the child murder.
Yeah, they did that, and they showed
Yeah.
the warning in the Vanitas last
And
couple episodes.
yeah, you mentioned that I think you mentioned that it came with a warrant. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was just as with the
Yeah.
kids getting killed.
Yeah, and there might be a third one that I've seen, and I'm not recalling it off the top of my head. I mean, granted, I watch a lot of heavy anime, so
Right.
but even then, they don't really have warnings. I guess it's kind of the quid pro in that instance of like this is what you expect. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we're gonna find out what happens when we do the whole My Villain Academia
My
next.
Villain Academia, one of the most talked about arcs, one of the most anticipated arcs in the entire series. It's now upon us. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna take up at least 4 episodes out of the 5. So
is there only 5 left?
yeah, we got 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 5 left.
Wow.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of it.
There's no way that arc lasts only 5 episodes. An arc should last way longer than that, right? I mean, I
Hold
guess depending if you have a 12, I mean, if you have a 12 anime series, then I guess, in a way, like it gets broken down into multiple.
actually, I was gonna look it up, see how long that actually
How many
lasts.
chapters? Yeah, I was gonna say, how many chapters?
It's like 22 chapters.
Can you do 22 chapters in 5? I guess you can. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It depends.
No,
I'm very,
never. Yeah, I guess it depends on what they do.
I'm very curious to see what happens, because obviously manga readers and light novel readers as well, they always shit on when animes rush through shit, and I understand that. And you can tell when certain things feel rushed because there's
Yeah.
layers that you feel that are missing. So
Or
I'm very,
just change completely. Or
or
just change completely.
yeah, or altered completely. So I'm very curious, once this is all said and done, what the hardcore manga readers are going to say about the anime that watch it, and see what they feel. So that's something we should follow up on, perhaps. But just an idea.
Yeah. Oh, we'll find out when it happens. But yeah, there's
Indeed,
definitely gonna be a lot of fun stuff for that one.
indeed.
Alrighty.
To
Let's
your
see.
eternity.
To your eternity.
Or did you want to do Revengers? Because you were more affected by Eternity than I was.
Well, we can do eternity.
Do Eternity.
Yeah,
Motherfucker, die!
but yeah, people died.
A lot of fuckers died. A lot of
Anyway,
so funny.
Tanari got back to the island, went to go save Fushi. He's like, "Oh yeah, I did this already. I already escaped as the mole rat type of thing. I didn't need you, but while you're here, get out of here."
Yeah.
And then you find out Tanari's friends also came.
You find out later on, but yeah, what happens before that also is that they have that nice they have a real heart to heart. Tonari and Fushi have a heart to
Yeah,
heart in the cave. They're trying to leave, but they can't leave because there's a big storm coming, and they don't want to die out at sea. So they take shelter in a cave next to the pier, and so they have a heart to heart about their families, and about their parents being
yeah.
the devil. But
And
then
then Hayase found out that he escaped, and
yeah, I mean
she was not happy.
yeah, I mean I was leading to like the fact that we get to see that Tonari gets to confirm her feelings more for
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like she has a heart, kind of.
yeah, she wants some Fushi Chimpo.
Well, that she has to join Hayase's group because that's her.
She has to get behind Hayase.
Yeah, move. That's why. So that's why she kills. Like, move it, bitch.
Oh shit! But yeah,
That was some fun stuff there, and again, we find out like Shin, Uroi, Mia, Upa, Opai.
I knew.
I had to. Like, hell yeah, we left too.
You
Does
can't call her
Brand?
bro. She's like a 10-year-old girl, and you call her fucking Opie.
Have you seen Dragon's Fate?
Bro, she's the size of one Opie herself.
Have you seen Dragon Fate?
Jesus Christ. Bro.
There's a little Hollywood giant.
Oh my god, Matthew's on a giant tit fucking binge today, it seems.
I'm not a fan of them either.
Yo, you sound like Ikatero when you're like chimpo? Chi.
Yeah.
That's what you sound like right now laughing at that.
Eyes are where it's at. Anyway. God damn it.
That's what the fuck he sounds like.
Anyway, before this fucker. I'm laughing at me.
Oh shit.
They're like, hey, we're here. We're gonna help you escape. And like, oh wait, here comes the daggone knockers coming.
The knockers. Another name for Opie. The knockers.
The knockers are back and they're underground. They adapted underground. And then Fushi starts fighting them on his own, ripping out the cores of all these.
No, they're not only underground, but they're taking over dead bodies.
Yeah.
They go into the body pit, and they're basically taking, instead of taking over objects, now they're taking over fucking dead bodies, and that is crazy. And then it gets even crazier as Tonari and Fushi are fighting. They're getting overwhelmed. We see Tonari's friends come over, and they save them momentarily. And as they're kind of trying to come up with a formula, like trying to formulate a plan, we see Upa get fucking taken over. She's still alive. She gets taken over by the knockers. She dies. And then who's the taller redhead?
Mia. Yeah, Mia comes, and then Opie stabs her with the spear.
Yeah, and that's fucking nuts. And then everyone's like, "Holy fuck! What the fuck are we gonna do? What the fuck are we gonna do?" So then
Fushi asks, "I'm gonna kill her."
No, so Fushi asks the fucking the god, the black guy, right?
Yeah, the creator.
Black guy. Creator, yeah. So he asked creator, like, "Yo, can we go? Like, okay, you're gonna go like 3 minutes you're gonna go 6 minutes like to the left, and you'll be safe for 3."
That's before that. No, he says that after.
After and then after what's it called? After
she goes to kill her.
No, incorrect. I'm telling you what happened. So Mia gets stabbed, and she's like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do? Like, where can we go that's safe?" And he goes, "Go 6 minutes. You'll be safe for 3." So they get there, and they're trying to save her. They beg Fushi, like, "Make her something to save her. Make her something." He's like, "I can't just make anything," and that was a sad reality for them. And then Mia very, very kindly said, "It's not Upa's fault. Whatever." And she recognizes that she's dead, and she recognizes that Upa's dead. And so the knockers.
And then Upa shows up.
And Upa shows up, and then Fushi tries to kill him, and he's like, "I can't," and then he loses the Parana form. And then what's it called? Everybody gets fucked up. One of the who's the big guy?
Uroi.
Uroi, that's right. Uroi. Yeah. He ends up fucking getting taking a knocker in him himself, and like a savage. It was in his arm. He fucking cuts his arm off, and he's like, "No!" And then fucking he tries to save them. He's like, "Guys, run away! I got this! So he buys them time for the escape. Fushi, Tonari, and then the one little black kid. He buys them time to escape, and then also the owl, Tonari's owl. I forget his name now too.
I forgot.
Yeah, Tonari's owl. He basically tells Fushi, turn into the mole rat. Fushi turns into the mole rat. He yeets him into the sky, and Tonari's owl fucking scoops him up and saves him as the mole rat is crying at the fact, like, no, and Uroi sacrifices himself, and he gets the knocker
and he knows he's dead.
And knows he's dead, and then the final scene of that is seeing that the three friends go off into the distance, the same way like we saw Gugu and basically head off into the distance, into the afterlife. And that was a really, really powerful moment when you see that. Another reality of death upon Fushi.
Yep. So he has to learn how to use his abilities better quick. Because again, the knockers are death and every single time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he could have escaped. That's the crazy part, is he could have escaped. And he's like, no, I gotta save the townspeople. It's the right thing to do. And the creator,
As if they were just like stranded on the island.
yeah, he could have left, but and then
leave Hayase to deal with them and die.
yeah, and it's very curious. Like he asked the creator, why aren't they attacking me? And the creator's like, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
That was a very good question. And so maybe we'll find out. We only have 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
Next week is the penultimate. I love using that word. Penultimate finale of
as it pisses off everyone in the group.
It's not my fault they're not smart. Yeah, I'm calling you that.
They don't have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. Anyway, let's get to the fight in Tokyo Revengers.
What a fight it was.
Valhalla and Tomon. And it's just Draken's a beast. Let's just go with
Draken's
that.
A beast. By the way, before we speaking of Draken, did you see when we were talking about animation earlier, when you hope for animation from Record of Ragnarok, did you see that people were bitching about the animation on that episode of Tokyo Revengers? And when they specifically on Draken, they showed Draken and then Hanma too, like that they were animated. And are you
talking about the fighter?
Yeah, during the fight itself, they were animated like really blandly, and that people were bitching about how like shitty it is in comparison to the manga.
I really wasn't fully paying attention because
I didn't care.
I was just captivated by the fight. I just didn't care.
Yeah, it was damn good, damn good.
Where was Baji?
That's one of the big questions. Is
like he didn't show, like he wasn't there at all.
He's there. I think they showed him. They showed him in the They showed him when they showed like the you know how you see the Toman commanders and you see the Valhalla commanders. He's there.
I know, but I'm saying like after that, like
yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna probably in this next episode. He's probably gonna come up.
I was like, you figure you were seeing him with Kazutora beating up Mikey together.
Well, I mean, he's gonna help Kazutora beat Toman, but the Kazutora's beef is with Mikey itself, so he's letting them settle it out.
For something,
and that's what. Yeah. And even though Kazutora was a bitch and fucking had 2 other fighting guys with him to beat Mikey or try to beat Mikey, you know, everybody kind of stayed 1-on-1. Like Hanma wanted fucking Ryuji to himself, and yeah, I mean, it's
also fucking Takemichi.
He showed some balls this episode, bro.
I know, he got his ass kicked with Chief. He was like, hey, you have to actually fight. So
and he lost his shit. Yeah,
and this is what Draken looked at everyone and told me, was like, oh shit, we're gonna lose because we're basically we only have half the crew that Valhalla has.
And we're quitting too. And the other guys are quitting. And fucking Takemichi is like, fucking, I'm gonna kill you bastard.
Even though he can't really hit anyone at the
can't hit anybody, bro. He looks like a fucking like special ed kid trying to fucking throw punches. That
type of thing. And the Dragon's like, hey, this guy's showing you off. You gonna take that?
Yeah.
And they all got motivated.
Yeah, and they all got motivated. And fucking Takemichi's like fucking collapses. But Chifuyu fucking collects him. He's like, you did good. And he's like, what? And he's like, you lit a fire under everybody. He's like, I did?
Yeah, good job. You're actually useful.
Yeah, man. And then he started fighting.
Yeah, and then let's get to Mikey.
Mikey, bro. So Mikey,
he should have been dead. Like a normal person would have been dead.
Twice.
Oh yeah, big time. Especially that hard in the temple.
Yeah, so he gets
a lead pipe. He went Joker on him.
Yeah, bro. For those
Joker beating up Robin.
For those who don't know, what's it called? Kazutora jumps on top because they're fighting in a car
junkyard.
Like a junkyard, right? So jumps on top of some cars. Mikey's able to follow him, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And Kazutora is like, "Oh." He's like, listen, he's like, your balance is uneven. You can't use those kicks because everybody knows Mikey has savage kicks. You can't use your kicks against me. And then 2 guys jump out, and you find out that these are 2 guys that were with Kazutora and Juvie. And he's like, oh, these are 2 of the best fighters. And Mikey's like, oh, you're basically saying you're a bitch. You can't even fight me 1-on-1, bro. But they fucking basically
catch. Like, I don't need to.
Yeah, I don't need to. And they grab him, and he fucking smacks the dog piss out of fucking Mikey with a pipe. And they should have been dead. Everyone's like, Mikey!
Yeah.
Mikey-kun! And he's fucking like wide-eyed, like, Shinderu. And fucking everyone's like, we won. And then Mikey's like, fucking like, oh, what the fuck you mean?
First is like, yeah, what was the question that was asked? Like, of when you kill someone, like they're your rival or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, do you really hate me or something, or am I really your rival?" And then we see a flashback of Kazutora and Mikey, and their friendship, and how Mikey stuck his neck out for him, and the reason why Kazutora was even out, like Ken said in the last episode, like Kenshin said, is because of the fact that Mikey said, like, no, that's my boy, like he didn't mean to, and he stuck up for him. That's why he got out in time instead of being in juvie till he was 18. He only served 2 years in juvie, which is crazy. Can you imagine, like, killing and only serving 2 years?
I know we don't. Yeah, we get like at least 25.
Yeah, what the fuck in America? I mean, and I think rightly so. And by
No, yeah.
we see that fight happen, and then fucking, what the fuck happened that he said, like, so basically something happened, and I forget what it is now. You can, and Mikey just fucking at the end of the episode is Mikey.
Is that why you killed my brother?
Yeah, something happened. He's like, is that why you killed your brother? Like my brother? And he goes fucking Super Saiyan. He takes out the 2 guys easily, and he's standing there and like, yo, Mikey's about to kill this motherfucker. He goes Super Saiyan, and that's where the episode ends.
And we'll get the conclusion on that at that fight. It does look like there is going to be 24 episodes of Tokyo Revengers.
24? Did they update it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says, last air date will be September 19th.
Oh,
so looks like this arc will be the last one then.
It hasn't been updated on Analyst yet. On Analyst.co, it's still showing 19 plus, which means that it's not defined.
Yeah, I'm looking at my anime list right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only
yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's probably gonna be the case anyway.
Yeah.
And then wait till Avengers ends manga wise. It's almost done.
Yeah. I would have imagined so.
Yeah, they'll just do it from there because they could probably do 3 seasons of that.
Yeah. Probably at least I'd imagine so, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, well, how it's going? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I just realized, dude? We're supposed to do the Tonikawa OVA.
Well, we could do that next before we go to break.
No, I was gonna say we do that last.
Yeah,
might as well.
We'll close out with that.
We'll close out with it.
All right, very good. Well, if that's the case, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about stuff we're watching separately, so stay tuned.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey folks, PC Tony here. Thanks to our new partnership with Angry Lemonade, you can save 10% on physical products and digital commissions using the promo code ChairShot. Head to angrylemonade.net to check out their amazing catalog of products and services. Use the promo code ChairShot to save 10%. That's angrylemonade.net.
Tadaima! Alrighty, let's get to it. You go. Do your shit.
Why you gotta say it like that? Fuck. Disrespect. Golly jeepers, Batman. Fuck.
Golly G Willikers. All right.
Jinkies. Fucking Velma's finance.
That's not
I would love to eat Velma's groceries. Anyway. So Tsukimichi, last couple episodes have been really good. Basically, we see Makoto bring his alchemist friend over to make this potion for the sick wife and sick children of Rembrandt, and we find out that the children are actually legitimately sick, and that Rembrandt maybe isn't as bad of a guy as what they alluded to. Basically, they make the potion, and Makoto uses some what's it called, judo skills, and he's able to subdue these fucking, I guess you can call them zombie-esque type of people. And basically Rembrandt, who had his arm broken when he tried to administer the medicine himself, he's able to administer the medicine and they instantly become better. He does it 3 times, and Rembrandt's really happy. And as they're leaving the mansion, he meets up with Mio and Tomoe, and basically they get jumped by 20 guild people, and they beat their asses easily, and they interrogate the leader, and the leader's like, he explains why he was part of like what happened with the serum, and Mio basically robs him of all his gold, but they let him free, and that's that. The end of the episode shows that Makoto felt bad for what happened, so we gave him a fucking brand new katana, and Tomoe took it as an opportunity to basically make him her spy and basically be part of their crew. She gives him a bag of gold along with the katana. It's like, oh, this should help you out, and he goes, yeah, let's do that, because he wants to basically save an orphanage, because he wants to protect the orphanage. So he does have a legitimate, nice reason to be an adventurer, but he retires as part of it. And the episode concludes with Rembrandt, who we think is nice, being leery of Makoto and his friends and his skills and his trading acumen, and saying like, oh, we might have to do something about that, so that way we don't fall behind. He was very sinister about it. So there's probably more that'll happen. But for now, that's the end of the Rembrandt arc itself on Tsukimichi. Hilarious shit, like I said. So again, if you're looking for an isekai with an OP character that's pretty funny, that's where you want to go this season. Scarlet Nexus is getting really good. I wouldn't say really good, but it's pretty good. We're now seeing basically we see Yuito. Yuito struggles with his memory after the events of what happened. He now is a commander, and he struggles with remembering. He goes to a hospital basically, and the hospital says like, no, you're good, you're just overstressed and you're tired, and it's causing psionic leakage in your brain, which is affecting your memories and shit, so you just need to rest and chill out. So they're in the hospital, and they're planning to take a tour, and I forget the girl who has basically x-ray vision, but she has x-ray vision, and she notices that Nagi, Yuito's best friend, is being led away in a van, and they're going towards a city that was destroyed by the others. And so they're like, quickly, we must follow them. And everybody's confused because the city was destroyed, and there's supposed to be no there's nothing there, right? So then it's very curious that the OSF and the government is still working there. But of course they are. They enter the hospital because they're inside the hospital of this broken down city, this abandoned city, and they get attacked by another. They take care of the other. And as the intrusion's happening, Nagi uses that to get away from the scientists. I think he kills them all. And after they destroy the other, you see Nagi come out of the sakura blooms of the other, and he comes out, and that's where the story ends, which means he's probably going to fight them again. But they might fix him. I don't know. But either way, the story's getting pretty interesting. We also see Kasane get more information on her sister and the others from Captain Karen. And so they're gonna probably delve more into that. So it's not bad at all by any means. Standing on a Million Lives season 2 has been pretty well. Another good episode that deals with self-reflection, and I love these episodes because now in season 2 we're starting to realize that what the fuck is his name? Yuta? What the fuck is this guy's name? I forget now. Yuzia? Fuck, let me look it up really quick. Give me 2 seconds. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, rok, nana, hach, kyu, ju, ni, ju ichi, ju ni, ju san. Yotsuya. Took me 14 seconds. Yotsuya. He goes through these self-reflections basically, and he is starting to realize like, yo, I'm really a piece of shit. But he has his reasons for being a piece of shit, which the reader or the watcher may or may not kind of understand. Like, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with his reasoning, but he is a young kid. He's still in middle school, I think. I think he's like in 8th grade or 9th grade by this point. But in any case, he has these self-reflection points, and they're really good. After battle, basically, they realize that well, first off, as they're going up the mountain, let me backtrack. As they're going up the mountain, they try to face the fucking dragon. The dragon's OP as fuck, kills them. And as they're going up the mountain, they see that fucking there's a wizard, or he's called a dragon summoner or something. And he's the one who summons the dragon, and they have like a little battle or whatever, and he escapes. But as he escapes, they realize like, oh, there's a magic circle. So when they erase the magic circle, like the flow, the dragon who's basically sucking their life force, that flow slows down. So they realize like, oh, there's magic circles around that we have to destroy. So there's one of the last adventurers that's alive. He uses he basically makes maps, and he takes the map that he made. The map he made of the island, and using geometry is able to do a circumference of the island and pinpoint based off of because they erased 2. They erased 1 and then they accidentally erased another one, but they realized what it was. So basically the locations of where they erased it, they were able to draw circumferences, and they went around the island and erasing all 6 of the magic circles basically. And then this stops the life force draining, and the dragon, he operates on life force, and so without any life force he's going to die. So he basically jumps back into the volcano because he can survive in the volcano. volcano, and the volcano stops, and the cataclysm basically ends. We see one of the adventurers who sacrificed himself to save the boat that's full of women and children. He's remembered at the end as well. And the final portion of that episode is interesting because Yotsuya is back in real life, and he's in his, I guess they're in summer break, so he's in his home, and he gets a message from the girl in white saying that you're going to meet your next person soon. He gets a message from someone he doesn't know saying meet him somewhere. So he meets him and he's like, oh, nice to meet you. Wait, who are you? And it's an American. Like it's a fucking like, that when the Japanese try to speak English and it just sounds like kind of awkward because the accent. That's
Right.
exactly what happens. So we're like, huh? And that's how it ended. What else am I? Slime is great. Slime finally this week. Finally, Slime had action. It was fantastic. And fucking the things you need to know. The fucking Team Slime, OP as shit. Fucking easily dominates the fucking Clayman's forces, initial forces, easily dominates them. And then we get a battle between one of the three Beastkeepers, the Snake Beastkeeper, and the Finger for Clayman. And it's a very hot and forth battle, but the Finger gets an edge, basically. And right as he's about to kill the Beastkeeper, fucking goddamn. Oh, what's his name? Gabata. Fucking Gabata comes out of the shadows, uses fucking magic to dispel this thing, and saves him. Like it saves the Beastkeeper. And it's crazy, yo. Gabata's OP as fuck. And basically, I forget the guy's name. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts now. On the commander, I forget his name now. Damn it! What the fuck is his name? I might get it for you guys. Give me 2 seconds. Ichi-ni-san.
You failed.
Oh, I'm terrible, bro. Benny Maru. It took about 8 seconds. Benny Maru predicted like this would happen. So he basically sent Gabata and the shadow wolves in her shadow, and they're there to protect her, and they take care of everybody else easily, and they make the battle basically one-on-one again. He does the same thing for one of the other Beastkeepers who's fighting two of the clowns that are part of Clayman's evil forces and shit. But either way, the action is fantastic. They got the drop on these motherfuckers. They beat the shit out of them. It's awesome shit. So I'm looking forward to the next episode because they're going to Walpurgis officially. They're going into that other dimension. And one more thing as they do that, basically Rimuru took trainee's like soul from the forest and gave her holy energy and put her inside of a doll, and now she's a living thing and she can leave the forest, which is really cool. And finally, Boruto. Boruto is pretty good. It's a kind of a side episode. So a lot of people, and I made this thing. I might do an episode one day on Boruto just to get this out there. But when you think of all the other side characters in Boruto, you think of like you have the three main characters: Boruto, Sadara, Mitsuki, and then you have Shikamaru's son, Shikadai, who's the only chunin of the group, and he's really cool. But all the other characters are really lame, and they're not that great. So we get basically kind of a side story, but not really because it pertains to the canon story. So basically, Shikamaru, Inojin, who's the son of Ino, and Chocho, who's the daughter of Choji. They basically there's a internal hack that happens basically, and the shinobi who we know is Kashin Koji, basically destroys. Or not destroys. He basically steals information from an archive, and he's looking for old information. So Chocho's like, my intuition says he's around here. Let's go find him. And they're like, all right. Chocho's intuition is really good. So they manage to find Kashin Koji's hideout within the leaf, and they find some information. They see someone who they think is Koji, so they corner him, only to realize that it's Kakashi. And so fucking Kakashi's like, oh, you guys are pretty good. You guys want to team up? And they're like, all right. So they fall under Kakashi's command, and they do everything. And they manage to find and corner Koji, but Koji gives them the slip. Koji uses a shadow clone to give Shikadai the slip on the Thunder Train. But because Shikadai tells Kakashi this, Kakashi's able to pinpoint where he'll be next, which is the other archive. And he meets him at the archive. They have a brief fight. But again, he's using a shadow clone. He's able to escape. He's able to escape the archive. But the big news is at the end of this. Two things. One, they basically are starting to reveal who Koji is. And so Shikadai mentions like, oh, he was able to get past the He was able to get past the security system because he's probably a former shinobi, and he's looking for data on former shinobi. So he's probably looking for data on himself, so we don't find out who he is. And so he tells Kakashi that, and that triggers like Kakashi's mind, and he mentions like, oh man, these kids are really good. I like the way the future looks. But the second piece, which is the more important piece, is Koji goes back to the Kara hideout. He meets Amado there. He asks basically, how Jigen is, and Jigen's only at 10%. He's sleeping and he's only at 10% chakra. So he's only regained 10% of his chakra since that fight between Naruto and Sasuke where he almost died. And we find out, he asks where the other inners are, and all the other inners are not in the hideout. And we find out basically that Amado and Cash and Koji are the defectionists, and they want to kill Jigen for their own personal goal. And so we're going to see that fight probably next week, which will be really, really, really good. Another great episode of Boruto when it came to storytelling. A nice episode with the side characters, probably their most influential one since it has to do with canon. But it's still meh, I guess, because of the fact that Chocho and Inojin are meh. So, yeah, I think that wraps up my reviews for my 5.
All right. Nighthead 2041. We find out more info about Shoko Futami, which was the little girl that just pops in and out. Like she lost her physical body. Like she's just this that transcended her actual being. So we get to find out a little bit more about her. And you know how last week I was talking about with the kid and the mom that got kidnapped by the bit police, basically. Yeah. So the mother was friends with this girl that like years ago that. Like, oh yeah, here's all this. I'm gonna send this to you in the future, so keep an eye out for it, type of thing. And she actually got that and all that. And apparently the Kirihara brothers are gonna play a role in this, according to this transcended being Futami. So it's getting interesting. The Takuya, the brother, he's okay. He's alive. They're fine. I got a little scared when he got shot. So yeah, the Kuroki brothers and the Kirihara brothers are going to meet once again soon, and we're going to find out more about the Futami girl as this goes on. It's just an okay episode. Sunny Boy. Oh my God, the teacher that I mentioned last week. What a fucking bitch! She was manipulating like one of these students. So like saying, first she goes to. Asakaze, who like has his own ability, she's like, oh yeah, like you're probably the best one here. Like, let this follow my lead, basically. And these kids gang up on Nagara, and they think it's his fault all this happened. Like, hey, your power is escape like right away, so you probably use that to get us to send us here. And he's like, no, that's not true, that type of thing. Like I didn't do it. And then you find out like he did actually like teleport like somewhere else. He went back to the beach where they were in the second episode. And then eventually got found by Rajhani, Mizuho, Nozomi. It's like, no, you didn't send us anywhere. You created an image from what you saw. So this wasn't you, type of thing. Like Rajani is just really smart in this. And like he's just figured everything out way so quick, and it's like I like him as a character. But what you call it? But now because of this, there's gonna be a lot of tension when they go back to the school because the teachers and students want to kill him now, basically. This definitely picked up. Still not great, but it's more. I am now intrigued to see what happens next. Actually. So this kind of got up the ladder above Nighthead now. Just by a hair. So I'm definitely looking forward to... I'm actually looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully they actually keep up this momentum. And who knows, maybe I'll actually like it a lot.
Oh, wow.
Fingers crossed.
It saved itself. Always saving itself.
It saved itself at the when it was on thin ice. Now my next life is a villainess. All routes lead to Doom X. So they go to medical school. You see Dimitri exhausted, and she sees, what was that guy's name? The butler, the one that was that gave Bakarina the hickey. Sora.
Okay.
So Gerardo, Alan, And what you call it? Keith does all look like. So that's the guy that pinned her love down to bite her neck.
Hey.
So they were gonna kill it right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, they all you see the higher up for the detective of magic. I believe her name is Susanna.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, no, sorry, it's not Susanna. I don't have her name. Susanna is the fiance or wife of Jeffrey, who's not in this. So got my names mixed up. But anyway, there's this doll that sent all of them into different dreams in this house. This doll did this.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically get to see all their fantasies. Like with Keith, everyone's all gender bent. Like the guys are girls, the girls are guys now.
What the fuck?
Mary is just a guy on it. In her dream, she's just a guy. Like, I got Katarina. Fuck all of you. This is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Maria, like all JoJo jacked up with the muscular, and she does this just because she wants to help make her sweets faster, like flatten the dough and all that. Like this is a great way. I can make more sweets this way, and that's where you see the maid. Like I'll go back to that dream later. that was that picture. But eventually, the Baccarina snaps out of it. Also, her dream is basically just being lazy, laying in bed, not dressed like a princess, reading romance novels and playing video games. That's her dream, because her mom won't allow her. But anyway, we got that. They eventually go back to the non-dream, back to normal. They got the doll, confiscated it, and that was it. My main complaint is where the hell the plot's going. Like first it was Ian probably had Baccarina kidnapped just so his brother could step down from the throne. Nothing came from that after that. With Sora being arrested, what did Sora tell the police to not really be in jail? And stuff like that. And then now they're trapped in the book. Is it going to lead to Baccarina actually picking someone, or are we going to go back to Ian? I don't know. I don't know.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, the episode, it was funny, but I want some actual plot now since we're like 5 episodes away of finishing up. And now finally, the case study Vanitas. This was, oh god, I would ship all 4 of them together.
Oh boy.
Vanitas, Snow, Janine, and Domi. I would ship them all together. The sexual tension.
One big poly relationship.
Yes, exactly. The sexual tension was strong in this episode. Like Jesus Christ, I was waiting for someone to fuck. Anyway, all 4 of them are at a restaurant type of thing, eating something. Noah's happy because he has his favorite tart there. He's like fangirling over it. Just protect Noah. He's a sweet boy. Just hug him. But anyway, Lucius, the master of Janine, is like, "What did you guys do?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we're in love now because she bit me." Type of thing. Like he was. Like Vanitas was teasing Lucius, and Janine's like, "Oh yeah, like we're in love. The bite mark proves it," type of thing.
We share DNA. It's real.
Yeah, no, like because that was if you watched her suck his blood, it was kind of hot. Not gonna lie. But anyway,
glad somebody got a little chub there.
Yeah, but anyway, Janine grabbed him, and she's like, "I'm gonna get rid of him real quick." So they jump out the window, and she's like, "Hey, why'd you lie about why I sucked your blood and all that?" It's like, "I'm not gonna have anyone worry. I know my intentions." And he's like, "Okay, like I'll keep your secret, but there's 2 conditions. One, you can only suck my blood because he loved it and it was hot." He said,
"Hey,"
like he said he felt so much pleasure then.
Hey,
as like, and you liked it too because you were going in town. Because her condition is, she takes stuff to supplement her craving the blood. And there was these moments like with the curse that she lost control. So he's basically, when you lose control, just suck my blood.
Suck it, baby.
Exactly. And then the second condition
Pero.
is
That's how you say
basically,
suck. That's
but basically the second condition is call me by my name from now on, instead of just like random insults. And she does. She says Vanitas, and then sucks his blood again in the alleyway. And then I actually like watch him from afar. It's like, because with Vanitas' blood is like apparently like really really good, like really sweet. So Noah's like, I really wanted it, but I didn't know what to say. But Janine beat me to it. And then Domi finds him, and then he sucks her. Well, at first he sucks his blood on his neck, and then he bites her wrist to suck her blood at the same time, and then you just hear her moaning. I'm just like, nice.
And Matthew's chin chin went whoop.
Exactly. Oh man,
Matthew's on chin chin doki doki.
I mean, it's fucking spicy. Anyway, and then you see them at a ball dance. Domi asks Janine to dance with her. It's like, but I can't because I'm a servant. That they'll ruin your face. Like, oh, I don't give a fuck. So they dance while No and Vanitas dance, and No asks Vanitas, does he know what love is? And then Vanitas starts laughing.
What is love?
And he's like, no, yeah, I love her, but like, does she love me? He's like, no, I prefer that way. Like, why? Because it's more fun that way. If I loved her, then what's the point? That type of thing. I mean, like if she loved me too, then the thrill is gone. Basically, yeah. So we got stuff like that, and we're getting ready for the next arc of the thing, and I can't wait. Again, aside from that, it's just really good. The series is great as a whole, and I didn't expect it to be this good. Hell, it's winning a lot of like top polls on Anime Trending. It got first in Anime for the Week, guy, girl, maybe couple. We don't know. We'll find out. It might take the whole 4 in 1 week. We will see. But I believe that does it for me, because normally I would have Kageki Shojo, but we got that together. So
surprise, motherfuckers! I watched Kageki Shojo.
Hooray!
And we're gonna talk about it right after this commercial break.
Why should you visit thechairshot.com? Thechairshot.com is your home for hard-hitting reviews, news, opinion, and analysis with attitude. Why? Because you're smarter than the average fan. Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
All right, we're back, folks.
Ocarina Nasai senpai.
All right, as he said before we went to commercial, we're going to talk about Kageki Shoujo together. I finally convinced him to binge it.
I did it.
Time.
I did what, 3 days? 3 days? I watched 2 episodes the first day. I watched 1 episode yesterday, and I watched the other 4 today before we got on and started recording.
All right. Before we talk about the episode, what are your thoughts on the rest as a whole?
On the show as a whole?
The show as a whole. Before we get to the episode.
Yeah. So you know what? At the beginning, I didn't like it because I hate things with catty bitches. Like, I don't want to watch fucking shit with catty bitches. Like, fuck that. Like, But, you know, as the episode, as you mentioned when we first started watching it, like you said around episode 3 is when it picks up. Indeed, that's true. At first, I thought Sarasa, who's our main character, was annoying as shit, too. She reminded me a lot of Asta, but except not as bad.
But not screechy.
Not screechy, just annoying. But literally, starting from episode 2, it didn't take me long for me to warm up to her. I love Sarasa now. She's so, like, sweet and cute. I annoyed me because of how much of a cunt she was, but we find out why in episode 2, I think it was. She find out why she's a cunt, or 3. And it makes total sense, basically. As Matthew's already said before, her stepfather basically forced himself on her, and it's a sad situation. So we understand
she hates men for good.
and why she hates men. But as we've mentioned, or as Matthew has mentioned, now Ai is starting to, as the episodes go on, Ai is starting to open herself up more. She's accepted Cyrus as a friend. She's starting to open herself up to her and to the other girls that are there. They're in the project. They do the Romeo and Juliet project. They do, and she also tries, even though she's not really great, she tries to talk to the other girls, and she tries with Yamada during episode 5, which is the most emotional episode, I would say, for sure, involving the bulimia series. And so, yeah, dude, for sure. Episode 5 with the bulimia episode was definitely the most emotional, I would say. What else? I would say I shed a tear toward the end when she did the solo. It was a
Yeah.
beautiful song. Definitely shed a tear there. Only tear I've shed though thus far was that. The fucking fan in episode 3 and 4 was creepy. Fuck that. Didn't like him. Although obviously he saved the day at the end.
I get. It was just more of. It was just. He went about the wrong way. And he
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
bad.
yeah. I get it. So he was all right at the end. And then this last episode that we're gonna talk about,
Yeah,
it's
we picked
weird.
up where they
Yeah.
said he explains why she's not going to be a star. It's like, oh yeah, you did great, but
Yeah.
you were someone else. You weren't yourself. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. At first, I was like, "Wow, that was kind of rude by Ando Sensei."
But no. But
But
after hearing that, it's like I
yeah.
completely agree.
Oh, a couple things involving the senseis. Fuck the music teacher. Or not the music teacher, I'm sorry, the
Dance
dance teacher. Fuck the dance teacher. Music teacher is amazing. He's the second best teacher. He might be the best teacher next to
I like the acting teacher.
next to Taichi Sensei. Yeah, Ando Sensei isn't terrible. He's third to me.
That's the thing.
To me, it goes music teacher.
He wants them to do well.
Music teacher 1, Taichi Sensei 2, Ando Sensei 3, and then fucking all the way in 1,000th place is fucking the dance teacher. Fuck that cunt. And also I hate Ai Senpai. I hate that bitch. I want that bitch to get hit by Truck Kun so bad. Truck Kun needs to send her ass to a fucking isekai world. Fuck that hoe. I hate that bitch. I fucking hate her.
Are you talking about the main girl? Do you think of the main girl Ai or
Ai Sensei, the second year, the blonde one, the conniving cunt. The blonde girl, the sensei. Not sensei, senpai. My bad, senpai.
Karo or Hoshino?
No, Karu's the girl who's supposed to be the what's it called? Is supposed to be the third generation. So and she had a stick in her ass, but we understood why she had a stick in her ass, and she understood and she apologized, which was cool. The other girl, Hoshino, isn't she, she's the class rep. She's kind of a bitch, but she's all right. No, I'm talking about the second year.
The vice chairman?
No, I don't think so. No, it might be. Yeah, but like she's Ai Senpai. You know the girl who's with Ai, and she's like conniving and shit. She's the girl. Remember the girl who took the picture of fucking Sarasa and creepy guy. I can't believe you're shitting.
I know who you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out her name.
Fuck her name. She's a cunt. I don't give a fuck about her. Anyway, fuck her. That's my
All right. I guess it's Hijiri or something.
Might be. Yeah, it might be Hijiri.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the
Yeah.
There's two blondes. Yeah, Hijiri and Karo.
She's short hair, right? Short hair.
Up front, but it's more straight. Hers is more straight.
It's straight but short. It's like
so Hijiri.
Jerry. Yeah, fuck that bitch. I hate that bitch. She needs to get hit by Truck Kun. Anyway, to answer your question, long story short, to answer your question, I give it a 3.5 out of 3. Right now, I give it a 3.5. I would say.
Yeah,
I would say a 3.5. But it's closer to 3 to me than 4, if I'm being honest. Like that half is like.
No, I get it.
It's at least a 3, at most 3.5 right now. I don't know if it's got the potential. We'll see. It's got 5 more episodes. We'll see what emotional aspects we get from it. I didn't really feel much emotional aspects.
We got 6. This is a 13 episode.
Ah, that's right.
So we're halfway done.
So we'll see. I don't know if
we got a nice Sarasa background story with her childhood with Akia. I think was that the guy?
It's her boyfriend. Which, by the way, at the end, they shake hands. That's so weird. Like, there wasn't a hug. There wasn't a kiss on the cheek. Or wasn't a kiss on the lips. They shook hands. Like, what kind of couple shakes hands?
Well, hand holding is lewd, so...
Itchy, right? What?
Like censored. You gotta censor that shit.
And you don't have to have Vanita's fucking, you don't have to have Vanita's blood sucking. No,
you do. Yeah, my take.
Oh, you sound like I from fucking episode 3.
Dude. No.
Not
cool, man. Not cool, man. Stop it.
Yamete.
No stepdaddy, you don't know Yamate.
Oh my god, you piece of shit. You piece of shit.
I know. Anyway, we got a nice background with Sarasa and Akia about they're like, oh yeah, why you like don't this? You're not allowed here again. You can't dance here. What was that place called?
It was the kabuki. Basically, it's like a kabuki school. Um,
Okay.
I mean, you're skipping a lot. I mean, not a lot, but basically,
I was gonna say, like, I already covered that. Yeah, she's not gonna be a star because she's not being herself, and then she got bummed out about it.
yeah, but then
And then they go back to her childhood.
and they go back
Her
to her
home.
childhood, and we find out why. At first, I thought it was the grandma that said that. I was like, "Wow, the grandma's a bitch." But then I just realized it was another another old woman that basically shit on her because of the fact that she was a woman. It's just so odd to me, women shitting on women, even though a woman can get ahead.
Because it's just more that one understands culture. It's like I never got it, but now you're trying to think it's okay now. No, it's still not. So fuck you.
Yeah, and that basically broke Sarsa. And then we find out, I think she mentioned that in episode 5 it was, or 4. It was episode 4 or 5, and they asked her about, I don't know, which one was the Juliet episode? It might have been 3. 3 or 4.
The last one.
It was 3 or 4, I think. No,
I
no,
thought
the one where they ask her like, "Oh, you sure you haven't seen anything?" And she's like, "Oh, there was a time when I wanted to be sent whatever the character is, send something, send we'll say send go."
Oh, wherever they went to the play. So I
Yeah,
think
they went to the play. It was like
so 5.
5. Okay, so this was that was the beginning before we see the vomit. Anyway, yeah, so they asked her, and this is the episode where they elaborate on why she wanted to be that and why she stopped wanting to be that. And it was, it was interesting for what it was. It was a story of Cyrus's childhood, and it was also a story of Akia. It was Akia's childhood as well.
Yeah.
How he grew up basically in Saras's shadow, and how it took, he had to find himself in order to break out of that shadow and become his own man, while still admiring Sarasa for being
and
girl
basically the grandmother said the only way he could get out of her shadow was to get rid of her. If you think
Yeah.
about it.
And he never really has, which is, I commend him for that. Like I said, I really wanted to see more romance, a hug, a kiss on the cheek, something like that to show like affection. It was just a handshake. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You take care. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Like what? Like, I don't know. And then I guess maybe because I'm spoiled because of the fact that on episode 5, since I binged it, everything's kind of fresh. On episode 5, where we see Yamada speak to her sister, and there's like a real beautiful sisterly love.
Yeah.
How I kind of expect all the characters to kind of have that, and you kind of get
that's what I was expecting too, because we had Narada overcome her fear of men, basically, in a sense.
Yeah, and then also
Yamada's believe it, and now Sarasa trying to find her identity.
Yeah, but I was kind of expecting like a very nice, wholesome moment between them, and we got a nice moment in terms of like motivation, but it wasn't very sweet, and it lacked on the sweetness for me. Like, this is your boyfriend that
the bad aftertaste.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was all right.
We'll find out what happens. Again, that was an okay episode compared to the last one, but
yeah.
Again, I didn't blame the teacher at all for saying what he said, because it's correct. Because when I did theater in college, that was it.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
I heard that.
Speaking of this, when you asked me what I thought about it, it's ironic, right? Because at first, like, I was like, "Oh, it's about theater," and one of the reasons why I said okay in the first place is because my cousins do theater. My cousin still does theater to a certain extent. So I've been around theater. I enjoy theater. Every time I go to New York, I must go see a Broadway show. Most of the time, off Broadway, but every time I go to New York, I must go see a Broadway show. The last one I saw was god damn it, which one was it? Motherfucker, it's gonna bother me.
My last one was Book of Mormon.
It was a pink one. I can run downstairs and look at the damn.
You can show me later.
Yeah, well, I mean, I seen one in Florida here in Florida. I saw Lion King here. That was the last one I saw here.
Yeah, Lion King I've seen.
Yeah, my favorite one, by the way, is The Play That Went Wrong. I fucking love that play. That theater. It's a comedy.
I still love Family Opera, so
I haven't seen it. I want to see it so bad. Haven't been able to see it.
So good.
But yeah, anyway, long story short, it was a good episode. Like, the series is good. We'll see as it goes along, because now we're gonna see Sarasa with renewed strength. Also, I'm very curious, and I hope they expound on this. The twins, you notice the second twin that was in Sarasa's group,
Right.
she could have had the opportunity to play Juliet, and she chose not to. She chose to be the background character. Meanwhile, her sister decided to play Juliet,
He probably had
and
the confidence issue.
yeah, and I think that's if they're gonna go into stories, I think that'll be the next story that they delve into, because they've started delving
Just
into
focus on the twins, yeah.
on the twins. They focused on they focused on Yamada. They focused on Sarada. We got a little bit from what's her face? Karu.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of Karu because of the pressure that she feels as a third gen. We got a little bit from the other senpai, Sarasa senpai. We got a little bit from her. And so I think the next person that they're gonna delve into is gonna be the twins. I think the
hope so.
last person that they may delve into is the cunt that I hate.
Probably.
Hirika. Did I say that?
Hikari?
Hikari. Yeah, I think that'll be the last person that they delve into, because something will probably happen and shit'll hit the fan. I think that's kind of where I think that series may lead into, where some shit's gonna happen with her and someone's gonna confront her and some major shit's gonna go down. That would be fucking. And I'm very curious because of the fact also this can really blow up in a good and negative way, from the aspect of these girls, because they're they're living this lifestyle, and something that the cunt music teacher said, not music teacher, I'm sorry, the dance teacher said, is that these girls are very sensitive, and they're going to deal with bullying, and they're going to deal with a lot of shit, and so they got to have backbone.
If they can't handle it now, they're not going to handle it when they're actually big.
Which I understand. She went about it horribly, and she felt a little bit bad afterwards, because she's like, we got to get to stop throwing up. But I digress. The reason why I say that it might blow up is they have an opportunity to show the realities of stress, especially with what happens in Japan, especially with what happens with Japanese learning, where they're constant, they're very stringent, very dedicated, very disciplined, very hardworking, and a lot of people get stressed, and sometimes fucking leads to suicide. And so I shouldn't say that I want to see that, because that sounds really fucked up, but I kind of want to see something like that.
Big to happen to get something to get exposed.
Yeah, I want like one of the girls. I should say I want it, but it wouldn't shock me.
It would be
one of the girls loses her shit and like fucking tries to kill herself, and like Sarasa or that would be, for example, no bigger opportunity for to connect with a human than talking a girl off of the ledge. Like that would be a good character arc. So there's possibilities for this. I don't know how deep they're gonna go. I don't, they already went pretty deep with the whole bulimia, so there's a shot. So we'll see.
Yeah.
There's potential.
All right, very good. Moving on. Remake Our Life. Have you seen the show? There you go. Move on.
Yeah, this week was a recap episode, so you didn't miss much. It was just a recap. There wasn't even, according to Matthew, there wasn't even anything like any 30 seconds or a minute of what's gonna happen in the next episode.
There was no new footage. I was fast forward. There was reintroducing the characters, and that was it. Moving on. Duke of Death.
Very nice episode. A very simple episode. It was basically the what's it called? Alice and Bochan. They have an off day. They're not really getting anywhere with the curse. This is right after their
the first day Alice makes stuff for the curse.
Alice basically goes into town and she finds a witch's cauldron and was like, oh, let's see what I can make. And it came with a curse book or a cure book, whatever you want to call it. And so her and Bochan, they make a thing. It's a funny, throughout the whole episode, it's pretty funny. It's very lighthearted. Again, more beautiful romance between Alice and Bochan, who I think, bro, honest to God, if it's not gonna be freaking, listen, if it's not what's his face and Shinoaki
from what
remake, the guy's name now.
Okay,
forget his name now.
What you call it? Kyoya.
If it's not Kyoya and Shinoaki, if we don't get a Yuri between fucking what's her face,
Aquatope,
an Aquatope,
Fuka and
Kukuru. I mean, and if they don't in Rebuild the Kingdom, if they don't explore that deeper, I mean,
I don't think they will.
I don't think that they will. I mean, dude, honest to God, I think the couple of the year, the ship for the year for me, ship of the year for me is fucking Bochan and Alice. It's beautiful. Every time we laugh and we feel sorry for them with their sympathy that they can't touch each other, and yeah, I think that's the ship of the year in my opinion so far, or ship of the season, I should say. But in any case, basically, long story short, it's an off day. They tried to do different cures, very lighthearted. Like Matthew said, they started off with a witch's cauldron that didn't work out. He had to play a beautiful masterpiece by some unknown artist on the piano. The artist was also very pervy. But basically, instead of curing his curse, he cured the author's curse, and he goes on to the afterlife. But it was a very beautiful piece, nonetheless. And then,
also, we forgot to mention that Bochan wanted Alice to get a new maid outfit.
Yeah, and we went from naked to
lingerie,
and I mean, Alice looked fine as fuck, bro.
Oh yeah, no, she thick.
How old are they? I keep thinking Alice.
They gotta be like 15 or something.
I don't even know, bro. I mean, Bochan's built like he's 12. Bochan's built like he's 12. Alice is built like he's 18. Which unrelated. We're not watching this. Speaking of, real quick, I'm gonna divert for 2 seconds.
Sorry, he is 18 and 19.
Oh, there are 18, 19?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is
he's 18, 19.
Oh, I would destroy Alice.
Alice is 18.
Oh, I would fucking wreck her shit, bro. Her shit would look like a fucking cave when I'm done. But in any case, that's not what I was gonna say.
Let's get to the part where Rob was about to crack some fucking skulls.
Yeah, Rob was gonna. Bro, that nigga walked into fucking. He jumped in over a what? No, he jumped into the fucking house through a window with a fucking axe because fucking Bochan broke a fucking vase. I mean, granted,
with the flower, it was the flower. Yeah,
the flower was older than Bochan. He's older than all of them. The flower's over 50.
That's why he doesn't let him touch it.
That's why he doesn't want him to touch it. It means a lot to Rob, which I understood. And because they broke the vase, there was a brief story about how there was a maid that used to steal, and then they hid some jewels from his mother and his grandmother, and because of that, they hid him inside the pot that he broke. So they were able to find him, which was good. But Rob still fucking scolded his ass anyway. But because of that, we also saw Bochan and Alice play hide and seek, and it was of course.
Hey, you want to hide under my skirt?
Yeah, of course it was sexual and it was fucking great.
Don't you know you cannot piss off the butler? You remember what happened the last time someone pissed off a butler?
Oh yeah.
Alfred called a mugger to shoot Bruce Wayne's parents.
And don't forget Jack the Ripper and fucking Moriarty.
Yeah, but again, Bruce didn't like a sandwich. Alfred May said, you know what? I have a plan. Hey, can you kill his parents? Thanks. So don't fuck with the butlers. They will ruin you.
For real. But no, so it was a very nice lighthearted episode. To me, like I said, it's my ship of the year, and that's about it on that one.
All right. Did you see the after credit?
I did.
Like Alice in Wonderland type of thing. Like he finally Bochan touched Alice, but it's not real, so he kind of
it was in a dream.
And he failed to cast a white rabbit.
He can't touch her, but has he caught a sniff? He doesn't want to look, but I wonder, has he caught a sniff?
He's a gynecologist?
I mean, I'm nasty, bro. I'd like that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he got an aroma from when he goes to her cabin.
Man.
I mean, he can tell her to touch herself in front of him. No one's around.
I wonder if Alice got hit by his spunk, would he die? Would she die? If Alice caught his facial, would she die?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask the creator. Anyone, if you're listening,
her face gets melted off with the fucking spunk. I'm dead. Literally.
The seed of death.
Oh, the seed of death, bro. Shinigami no Seki.
It's like, hey, you're gonna fuck with me. I'm gonna come on you. How do you feel about that?
Oh, Bochan, hi.
Oh, you're dead. Oh, but you look good. You look good like that.
I mean, you could fuck her corpse then. Oh.
Before it rots.
Before it rots. Oh, no.
Well, at least she won't fight back.
Oh, no. But she wouldn't have fought back anyway, bro. Are you kidding me?
Well, now there's no struggle. There's no movement.
I mean, bro, if she wasn't going to fucking struggle in the first place.
I'm about to say, she won't move. Move.
Jesus Christ, this has gone off the rails. This is
All
why we got
right, next one.
cancellation came from you, not me.
Realist hero. Okay, let's go.
Another good episode.
This was fine. We find out about what the general was talking about. About it was about the elements, right?
No, we don't actually find out what was
But
said.
I'm about to say, like you kind of got a gist.
Kind of. No, not
like something with the water, the fire, and the wind.
no. I think so the anime likes to do general explanations of the world and what the world is like. I think to a certain extent they try to include some of that inside of the story itself, but I didn't get that in this episode. I feel like this episode is very cut and dry, unrelated to that particular thing, because the episode starts off with Soma basically thanking all of the treasurists, saying like, you guys are unsung heroes, you're nameless heroes, I appreciate you guys, I would normally give you all medals, but because of the fact that we're cutting down on the budget, I can't afford that, so instead take one bottle of wine, all of you can take one bottle of wine a piece, and you can do whatever you want with it, and I'm gonna give you guys a 5-day vacation. And all of them are fucking jumping for joy. Arigato gozaimasu.
It's like, hey, that was like, don't you think that's a little too much? Like, yeah, I'm tired, I don't care.
Yeah, bro. And he basically falls asleep, and we basically get some more affirmation between Lisha and Soma. And they're a nice couple. Like I said, they're not going to be Bloodshot and Alice for me, but they're a really nice couple. I hope that works out really well. In a perfect world, I'd love to see him have multiple wives with Lisha. But
Yeah,
in any
Aisha and Tuna.
yeah. But in any case, yeah. So basically, Soma wants to create a port city, and they're like, oh, you're gonna piss off the fucking people that we deal with that's from the port. They're like, no, it'll be a separate port, but we're gonna centralize it. He has a whole like infrastructure plan for this port city, and it's fantastic. When he goes to survey it, he sends the guy who likes Lisha, I forget his name, but he likes Lisha. But in any case, he goes there. How's it going? Like, oh, the elders don't want you to build. They're like, oh, well, let me speak to the elder. And the elder's like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, hi, Somedes. Oh, Sama! She's all shook and shit because it's the king in front of his fucking little shitty house.
Like, why the hell are you here?
So he tells the king the story of basically a sea monster, a kaiju, that will destroy everything. And if they build in the town here, and basically part of the story is the ground shakes before the kaiju destroys everything, and Soma quickly, figures out like, oh, that's not a kaiju, it's a fucking tsunami. It's an earthquake followed by a tsunami, which is still bad. So using his deduction skills along with his new right hand man, the Black Prime Minister, as they're called, or the Prime Minister in Black, the Prime Minister in Black, as he said. They come up with a new solution to build, and they get that part going, and and Lisha also confirms with Alicia if she likes Soma, and she says yes, but she says it in like a proper official capacity, not in like I want to suck his chimpo like fucking Lisha is thinking. So we get that confirmation as well. But yeah, a nice wholesome episode. I agree with you from the aspect of like, if it wasn't for the fact that this anime is so unique in terms of isekais and in terms of OP OP heroes, it would be lame. But because it's so unique, it's good. Like it's not gonna wow your socks off, but because the take is so unique and there's a nice budding romance, and there's a good story that's building, I would say it makes it worth watching for sure. So it's not gonna wow you, but it's not gonna be like, yeah. So
yeah, like it's not disappointing or anything. It's just standard.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, which one we talk about next?
Let's go with
we got 4 left.
Man, so much for a short episode, eh? Let's go with Detective.
All right, Siesta cute.
Siesta kawaii, yes.
Yes, especially when she's drunk.
Oh my god, yes.
All right, so, anyway, before we get to that, we see the 3 of them at like drinking.
Yeah, Kimi and Alice. No, before that, Kimi and Alice. Basically, Alice. I think her name is Alice, right? Yeah, Alice. Kimi and Alice. Alice is basically she tries to be the detective and is
Oh,
basically
right.
yeah
I just didn't care about that part.
yeah, I know you didn't care about it, but it's kind of important to the story. So,
All right, fine.
basically leads her on a wild goose chase all over the city, and Kimi's like a babysitter in essence, and so he's tired as fuck. And again, and Kimi throughout this is losing Alice. We think it's because Kimi is, or sorry, Alice is like super young and she's fucking like she can move very fast and she's like hyper and she goes all over the place, short attention span.
Right.
And so. They end up going to dinner. Siesta feels, is all healed up. They have a nice dinner. And basically they say, "Oh, we still haven't found the sapphire." So,
Then
Alice
we
is like, "I'm
see.
gonna go find it." And so basically,
Then we see how in sync Siesta and Kimihiko are. Where like when they're talking, like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna order this for you. Oh yeah, here's your pill, basically for
yeah.
what you
Yeah,
ate."
yeah. They're very nice. Again, couple of the season if the fact that she wasn't dead already, but we'll see. This episode though, whew. So basically, the same episode. They're at the same dinner. Alice goes away, and they're like, "We're gonna have one drink." Okay, just one drink. Turned into fucking 50, right? And they end up
And then
going back.
Siesta's like bouncing her boobs on the bed. Like talk about
Yeah.
watermelon seeds she ate.
Yeah, they end up going back in the hotel room, and Siesta's going off about stupid shit, and Kimmy's like, "Wow, I didn't realize how much she blabbers about stupid shit when she shit faced." Like, oh, that's interesting. And then Siesta's like, "Nah, come here.
Why,
You know what
why
I mean?
aren't you on the bed?
Why aren't you closer to me? Sit closer to me." And they lay in bed together for the first time. This is the first time that they were ever in bed together, and fucking, they have a nice, intimate conversation where they talk about their feelings somewhat, and at the end of that, basically
The
fucking
next morning.
Siesta's teasing the shit out of him, basically, like, like open robe a little bit, like, you're so cute, like, even though you got a forgettable face, you're so cute, like, hey, do you want to do something not so serious? And like, I was expecting a kiss or something, but it fades to black. Next morning they wake up, fucking Kimmy's got a headache from drinking. Siesta wakes up, realizes
And
Kimmy's
sees him
next
on
to
the bed.
her, sees him on the bed, and she's like, and she realizes her robe is like almost coming off, and so she fucking grabs the sheets, throws it over her.
Yeah.
And then they have a brief conversation, and then Siesta goes into her bag and
Right.
pulls out a humongous fucking syringe full of fucking amnesia fucking potion.
That's amazing. Like, yeah, like for all we know, nothing happened. It's just like, I ain't taking that chance.
Yeah, bro. And fucking Kimmy's freaking the fuck out, and then Alice knocks on the door right as fucking as Siesta's gonna stab him with the syringe, and she's like, "Oh, nothing's going on." Like, "Oh, but she's like, Alice is like, "Oh, something going on?" "No, nothing's going on. Everything's fine."
I
And
found
so,
it.
and then she's like, "I found it," and they're like, "Oh, how did you find the sapphire?" Like, "No, I didn't find the sapphire. I found you this." And she gives Kimmy an eye patch. And one of the scenes that happens during this is he gets a little woozy. Kimmy gets a little woozy throughout, and basically they tie into the fact that when fucking he got sliced in the eye in the previous episode,
Yeah, it didn't fully heal.
It didn't fully heal. Kimi didn't give it a process to heal, so she gives him the eye patch, saying, "Listen, close your eye, let it heal, and it'll be all right, and you won't be as woozy because you're not focusing as much through the damaged eye." And so that was really nice of her. But the big drop that happens at the end is as they're walking and discussing what they're gonna do. Kimi gets a call from Fubi, and Fubi says, "Hey, I got information, da 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 da." And they're like, "Oh, you couldn't tell us that 2 weeks ago?" They're like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Oh, we saw you 2 weeks ago." "No, we didn't." And then fucking Siesta's like, "You realize." They basically have like an epiphany, and one of the things that points that out is the fact that Fubi had the lighter, and Fubi had given the lighter in the previous episode, or the episode before last, gave him the lighter and said, like, "Here, keep the lighter. I don't want to smoke anymore." But the Fubi that they saw lit up the cigar with the lighter. So, right. And they didn't notice that. So basically, that Fubi that they saw that gave them the information that led them into the trap was one of the people from Spes. And yeah, that's where the episode leaves off for the day, or the week, I should say.
All right, very good for that one. Again, it was a fun episode. Again, Siesta cute. The twist at the end was like, holy shit.
They always leave you, most of the times they leave you on a cliffhanger, and
Right.
it's not a bad cliffhanger. It's not, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that." This one might be, but it was good.
Alrighty, Uramichi.
All right, let's go with Uramichi. That's fine.
Yeah, why not? Ikiteru got upset because he couldn't cut origami. Well, first there was a production meeting. Like they were trying to figure out sketches to do. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have them dressed as bugs while Utano dresses as something else type of thing.
And they're all super excited.
They are very, very excited. But yeah, we see a lot of depression from Ikitaro because he's not like following the instructions. He's talking about how he wishes to cut the world into pieces and stuff like that. But legally,
Yeah, it was funny.
I was like, Jesus.
Ikitaro is very interesting, where he's very limited in what he does, and when he doesn't know how to do something, he's royally shitty at it. But they always talk about his latent potential, and it's fucking stupendous with everything.
Yeah, and then once he learns, he's like fucking perfect.
Yeah, he fucking does perfect
dude.
origami and shit.
Like
You're
he made
wow.
he made like those rice ball things.
Yeah, and it's like fucking like wow, his potential's incredible because they did the rice balls, he did the fucking the ping pong, and then he learned how to fucking do origami in a single day.
Like in seconds.
Yeah, dude. So fucking latent potential, incredible.
And then you find out why he's upset because he got kicked out for a stupid conversation with his sister. And of course, there's dick jokes that they really weren't, but he took it that way, like the ding dong or
ding 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 ding. I love those, bro. Especially when he's trying to hold it in, he's trying to be professional, but he's like a little fucking kid.
But he's like, all right, and then she's like, get out of my house. You're dead.
Yeah, shit was fucking hilarious, dude.
I just love how when he came back to apologize, like, well, for what? What happened? And they're like, okay, nothing happened.
For real.
I love how Utano's like, fine, I'll kick my boyfriend out so I can get your sister.
Yeah.
She was just willing to get rid of the boyfriend.
Bro, when are they gonna break up? At this point, they should just fucking break up. Like, she's stupid as shit for staying with him.
Oh, also the best part where the director is like, tell me your nightmares.
Oh my god.
Mitsu was he was followed. No one cared about Tobikichi, so it's like, okay. Ikitaro had his dog. Utano was getting married.
Next!
And then Uramichi was ingredients of missing in the store. And I love how that's the one. Like,
yeah, that triggers.
Tell me. Interesting.
And
I can relate.
Not only does that trigger the fucking director, he basically takes everybody's story and mixes it with the main premise being Uramichi's story, and it's a clusterfuck of fucking story. Like what the?
Yeah, and like they're fucking ninjas basically.
They're fucking ninjas, dude.
Except for Uramichi.
He's fucking some fucking herb. I think
he's a fucking go-go dancer.
And, yo, what made me die laughing that episode is when they're like, oh, he turned to the fucking cast, and the cast is like, don't look at us, and they're just fucking pissing themselves laughing.
Yeah, they were laughing throughout the whole thing, even when they were saying goodbye. And the kids liked it.
Yeah, and it really resonated with the kids.
Yeah, the Shisho, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like, and then with the girl, the daughter, and the mother, like, hey, like I want to try this. Like it'll be bitter. Like how the guy was, and Uramichi walked past him.
And he's got this face. Oh man.
He's like, I can hear you.
Oh my god, dude.
And then again, Ikitaro came home. Nothing happened. And then Mitsu and Tobikichi came over. They had shiso type what you call it, gyoza. They had that. That I thought that was a cool moment. Like they were actually hanging out with Uramichi.
Did I see that? I don't remember. Is that an after credit?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't see an after credit.
Then Tobikichi and Mitsu, they came over to Uramichi's apartment and they were actually hanging out with him. Like, oh yeah, we got the ingredients. They made.
Yeah, but they did that before. Remember in the episode like 2, I think it was, or 3, where he kept kicking the fucking weight.
But I'm saying like they were both like they're both in there, like those two together. So just Tobikichi by himself crashed into the dumbbell. Or Mitsu wait outside in the rain to get sick.
Yeah, true.
Like they were eating and drinking together.
Oh, nice.
And Uramichi was hoping the episode bombed, and then when he came back to the production, he's like, "Oh, so despite his wish, the episode was popular, and the director wants to make a series out of it."
Oh God.
So
yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, all that shit happened.
Damn.
But yeah, like normal. A lot of laughs. Let's move on. Girlfriend.
This one was better. This one was better. I've railed on it the previous week because of how shitty that episode was. This week's episode was pretty good.
Yeah, because there was less Rika. There was more Saki and Nagisa.
Yeah, that's true. But even the stuff with Rika, I didn't mind. Like the whole thing with what happened with So basically, Rika goes to school the next day, and she wants to have a proper conversation with.
Well, that's at
With
the end.
no, is that no? Was it the end?
That was the very end. You're skipping the costume.
Oh,
where
skipping the best part. That's right.
Yeah, where Saki's mom was like, "Hey, you gotta get his libido running. Here's this outfit. I'm gonna groom my daughter into."
That's so so awkward, dude. I was thinking the same. Like, dude, I was like, bro, your fucking daughter's 14, and you're asking her, "Oh, you have sex with your boyfriend yet?" Like, and I know they're
why not? You're fucking hot. Come here.
Yeah, they're like, why not? You're hot. And then, bro, during the fucking after the whole thing with the costumes, her fucking mom's still looking for cosplay. She's like, oh, that one's cute. I'll order it for her. Like, bro, you're trying to get your daughter fucked. Like that's some shit, bro.
But anyway,
fucking Japanese fucking anime. Do you see that shit, dude?
Yeah. But anyway, Saki looked hot in the bunny outfit. It's like, hey, does this get you turned on? It's like, yes, but I say what to do. It's like, your libido's dead, damn it.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
And then she just gets on top of him, straddles him, and then Noya caves in and grabs her breast. And then she's like, well, I can't believe you did that. And slaps him
in the face. But she's so happy he did.
Yep. He's all bubbly.
She's all bubbly, and then fucking her dumbass afterwards put the fucking bunny costume in the laundry, and Nagisa sees it, and she's like, "What happened?" And she's like, "Oh, I assure you, nothing happened." You know,
she's like, he dressed up for me. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna top this.
Yeah,
and she did. And so
in a maid outfit. Koshi-jin-sama
calls him master, and to the point where he just collapses. You know what? Same. I would do the same. Just fall off the chair.
They have a whole fucking role play for hours with fucking master and maid, and
yeah, like rubbing his shoulders, pouring him drinks, sitting across the hall, like I'll watch you from afar. Yeah. It's like, hey, can you pet my head? Like, all right, like please do this once a week.
Yeah, basically. Hi,
and then she let it slip while they were having dinner. While Saki was still bubbly.
And then like, huh?
And it's like, whatever.
And then she's like, I'm up hearing things.
And she's too happy with the bubbly.
I know, she's back to being bubbly, and fucking Naoi and fucking Nagisa like, phew. And then fucking that's when you see Saki's mom like, oh, that's cute. And then then the episode goes into Rika, and Rika basically wants to have a proper conversation with Naoya. Saki's jealous because
she does this in front of the class.
Yeah, she does it in front of the class, and Naoya comes out like, "What's going on?" And she says it, and she's like, "It's all right, no problem." So they go up to the roof, they have their proper conversation, and Naoya is basically being himself. But the more he's himself, the more Rika is fucking wet for this guy. Yeah. Fucking, she just wants him. And so basically he says something like very nice, and he didn't get a chance to finish what he said, but this freaks Rika out. She runs away from Naoya. Noya's like, huh? I wasn't done. But fucking she catches her breath, and Rika's like, I love him. Meanwhile, she doesn't know that right below the stairs, before she started walking down, Saki was there like, you fucking bitch.
Yep.
And that's where the episode ends. So we're gonna see most likely a competition between Rika and Saki come
and then eventually, I'm still waiting on Shido. We're almost done. We're halfway done. We're past the halfway point.
I'm waiting for her very cute self. She's so cute. You telling me she doesn't fall for him?
No, not yet. Not right away. She has the slow build.
Oh,
like she's disgusted by it, and the reason why she's living at the house with them was to keep an eye on Noya because she doesn't trust Noya.
Oh, you just spoiled the fact that she's gonna move in with them.
No, she did. She does. To be fair, it was gonna happen.
Okay.
okay, Saitama. Just okay. Blank face, lies. I like. Okay.
Oh man. Speaking of One Punch Man, real quick, man, I love my One Punch Man shoes. I fucking love them shits, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude.
Well, they're not our sponsor today, so
they're not our sponsor today. I know. Anybody who wants One Punch Man shoes, you're gonna have to go on fucking on StockX.com or Goat.com in order to get those. So sorry, you missed out. I got mines.
All right, we're gonna close off the season with Aquatope on White Sand.
A beautiful episode.
Udon episode.
It was a beautiful episode.
Anyway, they were trying to find stuff to sell for the aquarium to make some money. And they said, hey, why not some type of food item? And then at first it was Udon was like,
Ice cream.
okay, maybe I'll make a meal, like a food cart type thing. Okay, no, never mind. Let's do ice cream.
Ice cream. Can't get
And
no
then
permits.
yeah, but shaved ice is a lot easier because it's just it's water.
Mhm.
Because it's more safe. It's safer than dairy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
tell that to Michigan, but you know. Anyway, she makes all of this. She's like, okay, but we have a budget. What was it, like 5,000 yen?
Yeah, $50.
Yeah, 50 bucks. But yeah, the ice cream was a hit until the no permit, and then we did the shaved ice, and then she makes them in a creative way where she had like
The sea animal.
each of the animals, even one's not on the menu. Like,
Yeah.
hey, can you do this? Like, oh yeah, I could definitely do that.
Yeah, it was
And
what's
she
his
does
face,
it.
the big guy's fucking favorite. It was the ugly ass fish, and she's like, all right, and she made a shaved ice fish out of the fucking ugly fish. It was fucking cute.
Oh yeah, but it was a lot of that, a lot of development from Udon because
Yeah.
especially when she wants to run her own place.
Yeah. It was very well done, but that's not technically really the meat of the fucking
No,
of the story. The meat of the story is we get a old man, and Kukuru points
right?
out to what's her face to Fuka that
Yeah,
this old man, ever since that she's been coming to the aquarium, he comes every year. She
yeah,
walks up to the old
that's
man, they
right.
have a conversation, and she's like, I was down on. She's like, oh, first off, let's back all the way up. The very beginning of the episode shows a story in the newspaper, and it shows basically that that the aquarium's shutting down, and this startles and it upsets Kukuru, but she fucking
Yeah, because she didn't confirm it.
yeah, she hasn't confirmed it. So she, soldiers on. It is what it is. And so she goes to the old man. The old man's like, I saw what was in the paper. It's a shame that that's going to happen. And she's like,
Right.
well, we don't know officially, whatever. He proceeds to tell Kukuru the story of, I was down on my luck once. I had a shitty business, and
I lost my brother.
I lost my brother, and it was in the World War II. So he lost his brother in World War II. He said he was down on his luck, and he lost his business, and he came to this aquarium. When it first opened, this must have been like late 1940s, early 1950s, the way he's describing it. And he was kind of young himself.
Yeah.
And he says that he saw his brother. He experienced the phenomena that we've seen already with Fuka, and we've seen with the sensei, where they get themselves caught up in the moment with the fish. So he said he experienced that, and he saw his dead brother, and he comes back every year hoping to experience it, but he has yet to. And in that moment, both him and Kukuru gets swept up, and they experience the phenomena of the aquarium. And fucking we see the old man gets to see his brother, and they're out in the rice paddy fields near the ocean, and they get to enjoy themselves again. They meet in their life, and they get to experience each other. Meanwhile, Kukuru gets to see her dead parents, and she is wailing in their arms, and an emotional, it's emotional as it is with the old man. It becomes even more emotional seeing Kukuru just wailing in her dead parents' arms, and her dead parents are so happy to see her. And Kukuru, out of the corner of her eye, looks ahead, and she sees a figure. And so her parents move out of the way, and Kukuru dries her eyes for a moment, and that figure is herself in the future. And she's happy, and she's smiling, and she looks professional. And the moment ends for the both of them when they come back to Kukuru. Has she's welled up, but she's more in shock. Meanwhile, the old man is fucking crying his own self. He's crying.
And then he thanked her.
And then he composes himself, and he thanks her. And then Kukuru makes him a promise. And he's like, come back next year. I'll make sure this is still around. And he goes, yeah, I will. And that was such a fucking that
was great.
You said that it was the episode of the week at that point when you saw it last Thursday, and I agree with you. Nothing really has happened that would fucking.
There's a lot of solid episodes, but this one was just.
Uramichi was hilarious, but this one was powerful.
Uramichi was hilarious. Videos were sexual. but this one was just it had everything.
It was beautiful. So goddamn beautiful. I shed a tear. It was the episode of the week. That's why we saved it for last this week. Aquatope is easily one of the best anime, and it's a long running anime, y'all. This is a 24 episode anime.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where this goes more. We're gonna get more emotion. I know that much. It's gonna be fantastic. It's up there for sure in terms of anime of the season, along with Uramichi, along with Remake. I can probably, honestly, out of all the ones that we talked about, Detective is Already Dead is good for action. And I like Kageki Shojo. I think it's very underrated out of all the ones we talked about. And we're gonna get the My Heroes, we're gonna get the Revengers, Eternity's okay, Slime is gonna be popular. But Aquatope is low key one of the better animes of the season, and it won't get much love because a lot of people don't really fuck with slices of life. They don't fuck with things like that. But at least coming from Matt and I, this is one of our animes of the season, bar none. We can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, but yeah, this definitely deserves the closeout for the seasonal for the week.
Yeah,
we loved it. And the animation for it was just stunning.
Stunning, like always. Anytime you see the phenomena of the aquarium, you're gonna see some of the most amazing animation in the series that you can possibly think of. It's purely it's utopianly beautiful. I can't express that enough. It's some of the best animation. It's very, what it reminds me of? Shinkai like. It's very Shinkai like with its animation and the way it looks. It's beautiful. The colors are vibrant. The minute details from the bubbles to the currents to the colors on the fish themselves. The fact that you're able to see visible tears from people within the animation that's in under the ocean. There's so many things you could pick and choose from that, and it's goddamn beautiful for sure.
Right. Closing thoughts for the season?
For the week, good week, very solid week. I'm happy I picked up Shoujo. I'll say that much at least. I can't wait for Remake, like always, because that's my anime of the season. Can't wait for Aquatope. That's tomorrow as we're recording. This is Wednesday, August the 18th. So, we'll get the next episode of Aquatope tomorrow. I'm excited for I'm excited for Slime for sure. And Boruto, as usual, is on its nice roll. So, those are my thoughts.
Yep. So again, since we're past the halfway point, plots are going to start picking up. But we're going to take one more commercial break.
Wait, before we do, so you just mentioned we're at the halfway point. Let's do a little bonus real quick for the listeners. Okay. We're at the halfway point. Give me your top three.
All right. Uramichi, Remake, and Vanitas. Aquatope is right there, though. So, but like Vanitas and Aquatope is neck and neck.
Yeah. Okay. I'm giving Remake 1, Uramichi 2, Aquatope 3, and right behind it, because of how I'm sure it's gonna pop off now, is Slime Core 2. Right. That's gonna be my top 3. Anyway, I just wanted to throw it out there. We can go ahead and.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, that's good. That's good for a halfway opinion type of thing. That's good to have like we know where we stand.
Yeah.
Like top 3. Do we want to do a bottom 3 or just leave it as top 3? All right. We're gonna take one more commercial break. Then we're gonna talk about the Tonikawa OVA, and then we're gonna close out. Stay tuned. All right, we're back.
Konnichiwa.
All right. We got a special episode we're gonna talk about. Before we close off, we're gonna talk about the Tonikawa Fly Me to the Moon OVA.
Yes, one of my favorites of the fucking. Well, it came out winter, right? I think it was winter.
Fall
2020. It was one of my favorites of that season. First off, that OP is one of my favorite OPs, just because I have two 12s in my car. That shit bang hard.
Oh, I love the ED also. So
and ED is very nice too. Yeah, for sure.
But again, we got a very cute moment with what'd you call it? NASA buying Suzuka a cell phone, her own cell phone. And then she's very excited, and then he sets it up for her.
Wait, what did you call Tsukasa?
That's what I call it, Tsukasa.
I swear he said Tsukusa or some shit. I was like, what? Whoa, what?
Or Yuzaki. Let's go with Yuzaki. They're both Yuzaki.
They are.
They're married.
Ah, true. Mochiron desu, Matthew-san.
Anyway.
Those.
Tsukasa is excited. She shows Kaname her cell phone. Say, hey, you want my links? She's like, yes.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And then Aya gives her contacts also. She's very excited.
Yep.
And her face is just red with like, oh yeah, I have you as my spouse for NASA. Like, hey, we're spouse.
Yeah.
Like, your first contact.
That was a very cute moment.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really last long because NASA got called into work in his old job, and it's an all-nighter.
Yeah, he's like, that's why I quit in the first place.
He liked the guy. Like I liked my boss because we went out and all that. She's like, was it a he? Like was it a she?
Yeah, it was
no, it's a he. It's like
I was expecting a she. In all sincerity, I was expecting a she.
I think that would have been like she would have stalked him at work.
That would have been funny.
Maybe. I think that would have been too much. I think that was perfect as that.
It was perfect the way it was, but bro, Tsukasa and NASA have such a good chemistry the way that it's written. So if she would have stalked his ass, I would have been for it because it's just fucking funny the way that they interact.
But anyway, NASA goes to work, and then Tsukasa is like, I actually missed it. Should I send him a sticker? Is he thinking about me? He hasn't written back. What am I going to do?
Tsuko no sabishi desu.
Then I was like, oh, he's fine. Don't worry about it. And then eventually, when she was about to cry, NASA sends, hey, I really can't use my phone during work.
But I miss you.
I miss you, but I'm probably going to be here all night, maybe until morning.
Mm-hmm.
You go to bed without me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Tsukasa feeling lonely. She sets up two futons instead of just her own. She got NASA's ready.
Just in case he comes home.
Yep. And then you see NASA walking home at 4 a.m, dead tired.
Yeah.
It's like where you're at a con. You go back to your hotel at 4 a.m. You're dead fucking tired.
Yeah,
you gotta get up in a couple hours.
But there's Tsukasa. Hokairi nasai.
Like, hey, you want a drink? You want this? Talk to me, please. For God's sake, I'm lonely.
He's like, nope, I just want to go to bed. Let's go to bed. Okay, oyasumi nasai. And then this is where the real meat of the fucking episode happens, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, Tsukasa feels very, very lonely. And so because she's felt this feeling of loneliness, she feels extra needy. She wants extra attention. So she kisses him first. And it's a nice, passionate, nice small kiss, though. Very, very small. And she's like, all right, good night. And then fucking NASA freaks out. She's like, oh my God, this is the first time that she took the initiative to kiss me. Wow, she must really feel lonely. And so she goes, NASA-kun, hi. And, she's like, oh, can I go visit your futon? And she goes, if you want. And so she goes over to his futon and she snuggles. And, fucking they have this moment between each other. And then Tsukasa's like, or not Tsukasa. NASA was like, I didn't get my goodnight kiss. And so they kiss. And they do more than kiss. They make out like it's fucking
he has her pinned.
Yeah, this is like the most sexual moment in Tonikawa yet. So basically, yeah, like Matthew said, they're in this passionate moment. The camera zooms in on their lips and they're making out with tongue and there's saliva.
You hear a little moaning, groaning.
Yeah, and she's starting to get hot. She's starting to pant. Fucking NASA has her pinned. Her you can see like her button starting to get undone. She's panting, and like Tsukasa thinks to himself like, oh, like this is normal. Like this is my wife. NASA is like, yeah, this is normal. She's my wife. We can finally do it, and he thinks like
Screw Academy and the others. It's my wife. I don't care.
Yeah,
let her hear it.
He's in the moment, like he wants to finally have sex with his wife, and fucking in her panting breath, Tsukasa looks up like, "Oh, will you hold me?" And it kind of throws Nasa off because he wants to have sex, and Tsukasa hits him with like something really cute. But he appreciates her, and he's very respectful, and she's like, "Yeah," and they cuddle, like they have this long, beautiful, emotional embrace, and just cuddling, nothing sexual. They just hold each other, and that's the end of the night. And then the next morning, Tsukasa's overthinking it like usual. Nasa's still asleep. She's overthinking, and then she basically what's it called?
Kasane.
Kasane.
I want like did you do anything? Like I want to hear it, damn it.
Yeah, she's being super pervy. She's like, I want to hear it. and it throws off fucking Tsukasa. And then NASA comes over and says, they just casually come along, and then they start talking about it, and it throws NASA off, and the three of them are like fucking like ooh embarrassed and shit. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to them, Chitose's maid also is hearing this conversation and basically goes over to Chitose. We see a shot of Chitose in her house waking up, and they managed to over sexualize Chitose, which I wasn't a fan of, but it is what it is. And they made the maid fucking a little horny maid fucking. She basically she grabs fucking Chitose's oppai and gets her undressed, and she proceeds to tell him about what she heard at the bathing at the bathhouse. And at first Chitose chastises like, you go there all the time, why do you go there all the time? But then has to explain to her what they meant by like having a good time. And the episode ends basically before the episode ends, Chitose and the other maid, I forget I'm sorry, not Chitose's maid, the two maids basically. And they talk about what happened, and at first, like you could tell, like the maid with the red hair might be lesbian or might be bisexual.
Oh no, she definitely is.
Yeah. So and basically the maid with the blue hair was like, "Hey,
you want to hold hands?"
And fucking the maid with the red hair is like, "Duk duk 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 doki doki."
Yep.
Kokoro doki doki.
And she's like, "Psych."
And she's like, I'm just kidding, Jordan this.
And
fucking,
like, fuck you.
Like, what a tease. Like, what a fucking tease. And then she passes the fuck out. But the episode ends basically. Nasa and Tsukasa are back in bed that night. And they're awkward because they know what happened the previous night. And Nasa's like, well, I got to go to bed early. I got to wake up early. So let's go to bed.
And then Kaname's like, hey, you guys do anything yet?
And she fucking, Nasa throws his phone in fucking anger. But then basically they go to bed and what's it called? They end up, falling asleep briefly, and then Nasa's like, "Hey, Tsukasa, hi, I didn't get my good night kiss," and she's like, "Well,
just a regular kiss."
And if you insist," and she crawls over into the futon, and they kiss again, and that's where the episode ends. I thought, it was a regular kiss, but then a part of me thought like, oh, maybe they cut it off, maybe they're gonna have sex again, or maybe they were gonna have sex with her. You never know. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, very, very wholesome episode. Not wholesome, but it was a very cute episode. I love Tonikawa. Tonikawa is one of my favorite romances. I adore it. So this leads me to this question, Matthew. For our suggestions this week, why don't we give the listeners our suggestions on OVAs? Go ahead and give them an OVA suggestion.
We can do that. Mine is simple. Hellsing Ultimate. It was 10 episodes, and it was an OVA series. It was violent. It's the same Alucard and all that. Like, it's like a different type of story for it. And I thought it turned out great. Like, it was fantastic all the way through. So there, but yeah, like I said, if you love Hellsing, if you love vampires, just Alucard, Alexander Anderson, bitches love Caddens. Let's
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Where's your OVA?
I'm torn because I'm really torn. So if you want to watch, my favorite OVAs I think of all time are probably the Konosuba OVAs because they're just so fucking funny. Konosuba OVAs were hilarious. The Kaguya-sama OVA that we reviewed a few weeks ago was fucking hilarious. One of my favorite all-time singular OVAs. But if I were to give an OVA series, which I think I'll match your OVA series, I'll go with the Code Geass OVA series. Not a lot of people have seen the Code Geass OVA series. It does have a little bit of relation with the original Code Geass series. Basically, the Code Geass OVA series was made after the original Code Geass. Original Code Geass debut was like 2007, 2008, I think, or 2007 to 2009, I think is the original Code Geass. The OVAs were made in 2011. And so basically the OVAs are taking place in Europe. And it has a whole series with the Geass, and it happens in Europe. And the episode happens between season 1 and season 2. Basically, we have a delusional Lelouch who's already been Geassed by his father, but he's battling the Geass already, like he's suffering the effects of it. And we have a Suzaku who is basically in charge of him. So there's a sub story that goes on between Suzaku and Lelouch that goes along with the Britannian army, and it goes in conjunction with the battle that happens between the Euro-Britannian army as well as the resistance. So it's a really good series, though. It's not as good as Code Geass, but it was really good. I gave it a 4 out of 5 when I watched it. It's 5 episodes deep. I believe they're long too. They're like an hour a piece. They're like 45 minutes at minimum a
Right.
piece. It's really fucking long. So you get your bang with that. So it brings you all the benefits of Code Geass. And if anybody knows anything about Code Geass, it's a masterpiece anime. So that would probably be my suggestion of the week.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We talked our cake, we ate it too, and now we are full of cake. You can follow me on Twitter at DamienPhoenix12. We want to thank W2M Network for hosting us, having us on Spotify. We want to thank Chairshot Radio for having us every Sunday morning on the Chairshot Radio. So you can find that at thechairshot.com. You can find me there too, where I talk about Japanese wrestling. And now your plugs.
Yeah, don't forget, you also mentioned Spotify. We're also on Apple Music. We're also on Amazon as well. So we're basically at this point everywhere that you can listen to your podcast, or you prefer listening to your podcast. Type in Talk to Keki. You'll find Matthew and I. You can find me on my anime Instagram at AI_anime24. You can find me on my podcast Instagram, podcast.senpai. You can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow me on analyst.co at Showstopper249, SHOSTOPPA249. If you go into any of the links in my social media, you'll see a link tree, and from there you can check out my other podcast. Shout out to the Orlando Tragics podcast with my boy B. Ronan. Shout out to the MMA for Marks podcast with my boy Andy. I talk about MMA obviously and combat sports in general on my MMA for Marks one. And if you want to hear me talk shit and really go really uncensored and go talk about some wild shit, you can listen to the Orlando Tragics, where me and my boy go ape shit on that. Other than that, I think that's all we have, folks.
All right. Until next time. Next week, I will review the Evangelion movie 3.0 plus 1.0, the last movie of the series. But so look forward to that. Till next time. Arigato, and ofaku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!